Tacoma hasn't been making headlines for the wrong reasons. No recall drama like with Tundra. By most measurable standards, Toyota's midsize truck is doing just fine. And yet, ask longtime Tacoma owners or anyone who's actually lived with one, and the answer comes back fast. It felt right with a V6. The Turbo 4 looks great in spec sheets and press releases, but in real life, it brings two advantages that matter in everyday driving. On the other hand, we'll also show three things why the bigger, naturally aspirated engine must be back. Not should, but must. Join us as we explore the world of wheels. Subscribe now and buckle up for the adventure. V6 is more reliable. The engine didn't become known as durable because of clever marketing or flashy tech. It earned that label one cold start, one long road trip, one overloaded weekend at a time. A naturally aspirated powertrain is simple. No turbo spinning at insane speeds. No extra plumbing packed tight under the hood. No added heat cycles, cooking seals, hoses, and sensors over the years. Fewer parts mean fewer opportunities for something to go sideways, and that matters when a truck is expected to show up every day without excuses. That simplicity shows up long after the warranty runs out. V6 Tacomas rack up mileage in a boring way, and that's the highest compliment you can give a pickup truck. Oil changes, basic maintenance, and they just keep going. To be fair, Toyota's new Turbo 4 is doing a solid job so far. No wave of recalls, no major red flags, no scary owner forums lighting up with the same failure story repeated 100 times. Still, reputation isn't built in a year or two. It's built after a decade of winters, heat, towing, short trips, long trips, and neglect it probably didn't deserve. Turbo engines live harder lives by design. Even when they're well engineered, they simply have more ways to age poorly. V6 drives smoother. There's a certain calm to the way a V6-powered Tacoma moves down the road. You feel it right away, even if you can't put your finger on why. Throttle inputs translate cleanly into motion. No pause or moment where the truck seems to think about it first. With a Turbo 4, the story is different. Modern tuning has come a long way, and Toyota has done a good job keeping things civilized. Still, boost is boost. Power arrives in waves, not a straight line. Around town, that can mean small throttle adjustments feel bigger than expected. On uneven pavement or slow off-road sections, the engine sometimes feels a step out of sync with your right foot. It's not bad, but it's noticeable if you've spent time with the V6. The naturally aspirated big block also plays nicer with the transmission, less hunting for the right gear, and smoother transitions when climbing grades. The engine doesn't need to wake up or build pressure to deliver what you're asking for. Even sound plays a role. A naturally aspirated V6 hums and revs in a way that feels balanced, almost comforting. Turbocharged unit tends to sound strained when pushed, working harder to move the same mass. Towing feels less like work with a V6. Hook a trailer to the back of a Tacoma and the differences show up fast. With the V6, towing feels steady and unforced. Power builds smoothly as the load comes on, and the truck settles into the job instead of reacting to it. A naturally aspirated V6 delivers its strength across a wider, more usable band. That matters when pulling weight up a long grade or easing away from a stop with the trailer behind you. There's no waiting for a boost, no sudden shove once it wakes up. Throttle inputs stay predictable, which makes towing less tiring and far more confidence-inspiring. Heat is another quiet factor. Turbo engines work harder under load. More pressure, more stress packed into a smaller engine bay. Toyota manages this well, but physics still applies. The V6 spreads the effort more evenly, and that tends to pay off over time. Fewer temperature spikes, fewer moments where the drivetrain feels strained. Turbo 4 brings serious muscle. This is where the turbocharged mill makes its strongest case. Toyota didn't shrink the engine just to chase numbers. The 2.4-liter I-Force actually outguns the old V6 where it counts for most drivers. We're talking 278 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque in standard configuration. Step up to the I-Force Max hybrid setup, and those numbers jump hard to 326 horsepower and a massive 465 pound-feet. That torque figure changes the personality of the truck. It arrives earlier, hits harder, and makes the Tacoma feel quicker off the line. In city traffic, that means less throttle to get moving and easier merges when gaps are tight. On back roads, it feels punchy and responsive, even with larger tires or a bed full of gear. For truck owners who don't tow heavy loads often but deal with daily driving, this kind of low-end shove is genuinely useful. You don't have to rev it out. You don't have to plan passes as carefully. The engine does more work sooner, and that makes the truck feel lighter than it actually is. The hybrid version takes that a step further. Electric torque fills in the gaps instantly, smoothing out acceleration and adding strength exactly where trucks spend most of their time. Turbo 4 returns better gas mileage. The engine doesn't just deliver more punch, it sips fuel more thoughtfully than the old V6. The naturally aspirated 3.5-liter unit in the Tacoma has always been respectable, but never an MPG hero. Truckers were getting 19 miles per gallon in the city and 24 on the highway with the V6, which was one of the biggest reasons for the switch. The new 2.4-liter Turbo 4 manages about 20 mpg city and 27 highway in its standard I-Force form. It's a modest gain on paper, but noticeable at the pump. The gains become even more impressive with the hybrid I-Force Max, around 25 mpg city and 27 highway. Over a year, it can shave hundreds off fuel costs. Verdict: at the end of the day, it comes down to what you actually need from your truck. If you're asking the Tacoma to work the way trucks are meant to, the V6 still comes out on top. The Turbo 4 isn't a bad engine by any means. It's quick, efficient, and fun around town. If your Tacoma mostly sticks to grocery runs, I-Force will do the job. But honestly, if you're not planning to use a truck for actual truck stuff, you might want to ask yourself if a truck is even the right choice. If you're skipping the work, you might be better off in a different vehicle entirely. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time.